Welcome into Charles Schwab Field. We have arrived at opening day of the College World Series. Clayton Collier, Mason Kern here with you. Mason, how exciting is it? I mean, this is your first College World Series with us here in Omaha. Starting off, just, are you excited to see it all?
Yeah, I mean, this is what, as sportscasters, you kind of dream of covering events like this. I mean, it's first time on the dirt for a lot of these teams yesterday at BP. Also, my first time on the dirt in this capacity. So, lots of excitement. We've got a lot of great baseball to play.
So today we're just going to go through our opening weekend, preview some of the teams, get you set, get you a couple envelope information on all these guys so that you have at least something to talk about when you're sitting here in the ballpark. Throw out some fast facts to your friends and make them be really impressed that you know something about it, right?
Yeah, right, just like us.
Well, starting off, we have a great game here for the 1 o'clock Friday game, Coastal Carolina and Arizona. These are two incredibly talented teams. This is also a rematch of the 2016 CWS final when Coastal, their only appearance in CWS, they ended up winning it all. They beat the Wildcats in that one. And we were talking to these players. They said, yeah, man, I was 10, I was 12. It kind of felt like ancient history to them, more of trying to find something to give themselves an edge, a chip on their shoulder. But nonetheless, what a great storyline to kick off opening weekend.
You love to see big storylines at an event like this, and this is certainly a big one. We talked to Sebastian Alexander from Coastal Carolina. He said it best, love to start this tournament off with a bang. And you mentioned some of these guys, most of these guys really 10 to 12 years old in 2016. But Mason White, he's a Tucson native playing for Arizona now. He says he watched that game in 2016, and he's one of the guys looking to bring Arizona back, get some revenge on Coastal Carolina in 2025 to start this thing out.
Yeah, we talked to him about it. I said, he said, I was 12 years old, but I remember it. I said, you remember watching that? He's like, I remember it. So, I mean...
lasting impressions on a lot of these guys.
Exactly. Those are formative years.
Definitely. I know Coastal Carolina, they want to go 2 for 2 here in Omaha. That would be a pretty impressive performance. 23-game win streak for the Chanticleers coming into this game. They haven't lost since April of this year. 4-2 defeat to College of Charleston. Hot momentum coming into this game today.
Yeah, and also one of the best pitching staffs in the country, Jacob Morrison. He's just a couple feet behind us talking with his family. He's going to pitch on Sunday, but you have an ace like that off the top. Overall, this pitching staff has a 3.21 ERA. That is second best in all of college baseball. Now, of course, you say, hey, do they play the same schedule as maybe an SEC team? Sure, but I'm going to bring you over to the Super Regional where they went into Auburn, got rid of them in 2 games and made them their way back here in year 1 for Kevin Schnall as head coach. He was the associate head coach when they won it all in 2016.
Pretty amazing story for him and his family, too. He's talked in multiple press conferences about his son suffered strokes back in 2016, and their run to that national championship wasn't able to make the trip to Omaha then, but the whole family is here now, and they're hoping to get a big first win against Arizona.
And the Wildcats also are a team that will run all over the base paths. One of the fastest teams, most stolen bases, among the most in college baseball as well. They're led by Chip Hale, his first CWS appearance as a player, as a head coach, but as a player, he won it with Arizona in 1986. He's hungry to try to get them their 5th national title.
Pretty cool to see former players come back to lead their alma mater, and to lead them to the biggest stage is a pretty impressive run for the Arizona Wildcats.
Personally, also a familiar name for me. He was on the Mets coaching staff in 2010, 2011.
There you go.
I'm from New York, originally grew up a Mets fan, so I saw that name. I was like, hey, I remember that.
Yeah.
He said he's going to David Wright's jersey retirement out at City Field in July, I believe. So.
See, when I was back in college at Arizona State, we saw a lot of this Arizona team back in the heyday of the Pac-12, so some familiarity there for me as well.
And I know you're happy to see the Wildcats here in Omaha, hoping for a long stay for
completely unbiased, obviously, as we cover all these guys, but we'll see how this one plays out.
All right, so that's the first game. The nightcap tonight, we have Louisville and Oregon State. The Beavers, both teams had a lot of adversity throughout the year. Louisville dealing with injuries throughout, and then the Beavers not having a conference. After the disbanding of the Pac-12, they were, a ship without a rudder, pretty much.
We mentioned the Pac-12 a second ago. Oregon State, Arizona, 2 teams of 3 from the Pac-12 who are now in different conferences all over the place. UCLA obviously being the other here at the Men's College World Series. But yeah, Oregon State, they call themselves Road Warriors. We were talking to Dax Whitney when the team arrived. He said that road mentality where they played most of their games this season is what's going to really help them as they navigate another road site here in Omaha.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out in the evening half. Louisville coming in, they have Patrick Forbes, their ace as well. So
top 40 MLB draft prospect this year. They're lone guy in that top 200, so look out for him.
Yep, so that'll be an interesting one. This Friday side of the bracket, as we talked about a lot yesterday, pretty open compared to what we'll talk about here Saturday for the teams going through there. But nonetheless, I mean, Oregon State, Louisville, Coastal Carolina, and Arizona, any of them really can feasibly see making it to the CWS final from this pod.
Yeah, I know both of our picks to win it all both came from this side. You going Coastal and me Oregon State yesterday.
Whoa. Picks to go to the final, not necessarily to win it all.
Sure. Well, I'm going Oregon State all the way. I mean, again, the road warrior mentality I talked about, and you have a guy at shortstop like Ava Arquette. He's a top 15, maybe top 10, top 5 MLB draft prospect. You see a 6'5" player standing at shortstop who can rake the way he does. Might carry them all the way. They also some local love. Iowa Western grad AJ Singer also plays for the Beavers, so pretty cool tie in there.
He also had a walk-off hit in Game 1 of the Super Regional against Florida State. That was really cool to see. Imagine that you're a year ago, you're across the river in Council Bluffs. He was
at a JUCO, no less.
Almost hitting 400 in that season, and then he turns around, he gets that kind of moment in the Super Regional. Awesome to see. We'll see if he has more in store here at Charles Schwab Field. All right, let's turn the page to Saturday as well. We start off with Murray State and UCLA. Both have some great storylines. Let's start with the Racers. I mean, for a 4 seed to make it all the way here to Omaha, that has only happened 4 times in baseball history. Now Murray State coming here for their first CWS. You had to see them yesterday. I mean, at open practice, they were all just looking around. I talked to one of their pitchers who had said, you know, man, I'm from a hometown of 5,000 people. He's like, our stadium holds 800 people.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't even imagine having 26,000 watching us on Saturday, but that's what he's going to have.
Yeah, they've really become America's team in a sense. Dan Skirka is already Murray State legend for bringing these guys here. And, I mean, just the run that they've had is really incredible. You look at the games they've played through the postseason to get to this point. I mean, it's a pretty incredible story. You mentioned it, 4 seed from a regional to make it here. I mean, probably wouldn't have been the pick to get here, but they're here, and they're saying they're here to stay.
Yeah, and overall, this field really kind of flies in the face of what the trend was last year, where there was 4 ACC teams, 4 SEC teams. Everybody was saying, hey, is college baseball just really 2 conferences now? You turn the page this year, you include Oregon State's independent. You're talking about 7 different leagues making up these 8 bids. It's really fantastic to see the parity of this event.
Right, and if we go back to the Pac-12 with UCLA, Arizona, Oregon State, had they not disbanded, it would have been the first time 3 teams from that conference made it here since 1988, and it also would have been the most attended conference here in this tournament. So pretty incredible to think what that was, and yeah, the parity in college baseball this year has been pretty cool to see.
And on the other side, between Murray State, you have UCLA, the 15th ranked Bruins, 15th seeded Bruins. They were here not too long ago when they made it all the way to the Big Ten championship game, only to fall to Nebraska. The Bruins coming in hungry, wanting to take advantage of that comfortability with this area and maybe finish on a higher note than they did at the end of May.
You can say they're inspired, probably is the right word for it, since they lost here, as you said, relatively recently. When we talked to AJ Salgado at batting practice yesterday, their senior infield, outfield utility guy, he was saying that they kind of played out of themselves. The crowd maybe got to them a little bit. Nebraska, obviously known for traveling very well, especially when they're playing in Omaha. So they're more prepared for that this time around. They're hopeful to see more blue and gold UCLA colors at Charles Schwab Field this time around for the College World Series, but regardless, John Savage has these guys playing within themselves and ready to make a run here at the Men's College World Series.
Now UCLA might be in for a rude awakening. They'll see some blue and gold here, but I don't know if it's going to be for the Bruins.
Probably a little overpowering.
A lot of Racer fans trying to make their way out here for that game on Saturday. Like we said, first time ever in program history, Murray State, the little engine that could, and there's a lot of fans from Kentucky that are making the drive out here. We actually have 2 of them staying with us this weekend. So we have some friends that are alums that asked right after they clinched. They said, hey, can we make our way up here? So they're trying to find every place they can.
Yeah.
Also, they really want to get Murray State alum John Morant out here as well. I was talking to Coach Skirka. I watched him in batting practice. He wasn't wearing cleats. He was wearing Ja 1s, some custom Murray cleats for him, that blue and gold we were talking about, I asked him, I said, is this a tribute? He said, yeah, we identify with this guy's story. He talks about working in the dark, being barely recruited. The only reason he got recruited by Murray State is because one of their coaches went out to get in an AAU event. There was the main gym, the secondary gym. He went out to get a bag of Doritos, and he heard everybody cheering.
That's an insane story.
And checked over there. So that was his only offer. Murray State, he blew
Look
up.
at him now.
Goes off to the Grizzlies, all-star, signing over a $200 million deal from there. He said that's the kind of story that they identify with. Like, hey, we're little Murray State. We made it out here to Omaha. And then he finished by saying, Ja, get up here. We'll get you a suite at CWS. I don't know if they can still pull that strings at these points. We got a lot of suites already accounted for.
It's a little busy here, but celebrities tend to come out. We'll see if Ja makes the trip. We know he's probably seen it. Big Twitter guy. So hopefully he's seen that clip. And those shoes that he had on, Ja's are looking pretty nice. So we'll see if Murray State can use that inspiration and make another run here.
Yeah, last year a lot of excitement when Peyton Manning was here. We'll see what celebrities come through this time around as well. All right, last thing that we have, we saved the best for last. It's the big matchup of the SEC. Arkansas and LSU.
Big one.
The 3rd seed Arkansas, the 6th ranked LSU. The 2 highest seeds remaining in this overall field. We got a heavyweight matchup. We were talking about it yesterday. Both sides, a ton of strengths.
Yeah, a lot of strengths, and we got to give a shout out to the local guys. Of course, Arkansas brings 2 Omaha natives home, Cam Kojal, and then Elliott Peterson, Millard South, and Creighton Prep. Stand up. Your boys are here back home. Both of them just expressing so much love for being back here and achieving a dream by playing here at Charles Schwab. That was, for me, pretty cool to see the emotions behind them talking about that. Kojal hugging his dad, who's a groundskeeper here during batting practice yesterday. But yeah, their strengths, Arkansas can hit the home run, and LSU, they've got some great pitching staff in their bullpen as well.
They do. You'll also have a story on Cam Kojal and his dad later today, so we can tease ahead
out for that. Look out for that. That'll be good. We talked to both of Kojal's parents, Rachel, his mom, and Matt, his dad. So pretty cool stuff to see how emotional they are, and all of his siblings watching Cam come back here as well.
Well, talking about Arkansas, their hitters, we said it yesterday, 7 hitters with at least 13 home runs.
And Kojal's one of them. He's got 15 this year, so he's one of those guys.
The Hogs can rake. Now, typically this is a ballpark that holds power-hitting teams. That's been a long-term storyline, a little less so in recent years. Teams have started finding their spots here at Charles Schwab Field. But Tennessee was the leader in the country in home runs last year. They came in around this time last season. We were talking about, hey, how are the Vols going to adjust to a big, a pitcher's ballpark, a big ballpark?
Sure.
They adjusted pretty well. They ended up hoisting the trophy at the end of this thing. Arkansas in a similar spot. I'm curious to see how they answer the bell when it comes to hitting here. Even more so than the ballpark, I'm worried about the pitchers, though, for LSU. You have two of the best pitchers for this year's draft class that are at the top. They are also 2 and 3 in the country in strikeouts, 699 punch-outs as a team.
That's pretty crazy.
For LSU, that's some power pitching going against power hitting. But the Tigers can hit too.
They can. They've got some power of their own, and you mentioned the pitching staff. Those guys, talk about a 1-2 punch, and you couldn't combat Arkansas's power with a better pitching staff and a pretty great opening for both these games, at least for the fans. And I know both teams travel well, so we pretty much expect the stands here to be all types of scarlet and white and purple and yellow, and pretty full for that electric game.
Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, the 2 pitchers for LSU. They've got a great 1-2 punch, and that goes a long way when you're over the course of 10, possibly 11 days as well. So that's going to be an awesome matchup. Can't wait to see that. It is going to be electric here between LSU and Arkansas fans.
I think that's the one most people are looking most forward to. Unless you're, fans of the programs, that nightcap on Saturday is going to be pretty special. And Rocco's Jello shot board is already, increasing by the second. Last time we looked, so it's getting up there.
Yeah. When I got here last year, LSU wasn't here after they won 2 years ago. All I heard from everybody here, I said, wow, this is awesome. That was my first CWS. They said, wait until LSU gets here, then you'll really see it. It was basically talking about it like a Tiger effect, essentially, in golf. But we pretty much have 2 of those now with LSU and Arkansas and going head-to-head for their first game. Can't write it any better than that.
You really can't. And the SEC showing out. We'll see if that game lives up to the hype as it's written out on paper.
That's the Saturday, 6 p.m. We're about to get started here with Coastal Carolina and Arizona. We're going to wrap up here. We'll get ready for the game. It's at 1 o'clock. We will be live out here with all the highlights, all the reaction at 6:30 and 10 p.m. on First Alert 6 as well. In the meantime, Mason, I think we're going to wrap up, get inside, maybe get some water.
Yeah, get
here.
some
It's
water.
pretty hot out here.
It's cloudy now, been a little hot past few days, but we're making it through. But thanks for watching, and yeah, Men's College World Series, First Alert 6.
Here we go.